Welcome everyone to Unit 1 of MFN-008, titled Introduction to Food Science and Simple Sugars. Before we move into the technical parts, let's understand what food science really means. Food science is the branch of science that studies everything about food, its composition, structure, properties, and the changes it undergoes during processing, storage, and consumption. It brings together several scientific disciplines like chemistry, biology, physics, nutrition, and microbiology to ensure that the food we eat is safe, nutritious, tasty, and of good quality. In short, food science helps bridge the gap between raw agricultural produce and the delicious, safe, and appealing foods we consume daily. Food science as a discipline emerged when scientists realized that simply producing food wasn't enough. It had to be preserved, improved, and made available to everyone safely. Over the years, this field evolved to include areas like food microbiology, food chemistry, and food engineering. Food scientists today work to develop new food products, improve processing methods, and solve problems like food spoilage and nutrient loss. This discipline is not only about studying food components but also about ensuring that the global population receives food that is healthy, affordable, and sustainable. Hence, food science plays a major role in supporting food security and the world's nutrition needs. In recent years, food science has grown tremendously with the advancement of technology. Modern developments such as biotechnology, nanotechnology, and genetic engineering have completely transformed how we produce and preserve food. For example, functional foods and fortified products are now designed to offer additional health benefits, like probiotic yogurts or vitamin-enriched cereals. We also see innovations in sustainable food packaging, plant-based alternatives, and food safety techniques using advanced sensors and AI. These modern developments are not just about improving taste or texture. They also help reduce waste, protect the environment, and meet the evolving dietary preferences of consumers. Let's now shift our focus to carbohydrates, one of the most important macronutrients in our diet. Carbohydrates serve as the body's main energy source. Every cell in our body, especially our brain, depends on glucose for energy. Chemically, carbohydrates are made up of three elements: carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, usually in the ratio of 1 carbon atom to 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen atom. Foods like cereals, fruits, vegetables, milk, and sugar are rich in carbohydrates. The type and amount of carbohydrates we eat directly affect our energy levels, digestion, and even long-term health. So understanding them is key to understanding nutrition. Carbohydrates can be divided into three main categories: monosaccharides, disaccharides, and polysaccharides. Monosaccharides are the simplest sugars. These include glucose, fructose, and galactose. Disaccharides are made up of two monosaccharide units. For example, sucrose is made of glucose and fructose, lactose is glucose plus galactose, and maltose is two glucose molecules. Then we have polysaccharides, which are long chains of sugars, like starch, cellulose, and glycogen. The simpler the carbohydrate, the faster it's absorbed, providing quick energy. Complex carbohydrates, on the other hand, release energy slowly and keep us full for longer. Now, let's zoom in on sugars, which are the simplest and sweetest forms of carbohydrates. Chemically, sugars are crystalline compounds made up of carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Glucose, fructose, and galactose all share the same chemical formula, C6 hydrogen oxide, but their atomic arrangement differs. This difference in structure gives each sugar its own properties and sweetness level. Glucose is our body's preferred energy source, found in our blood. Fructose, commonly found in fruits and honey, is the sweetest natural sugar. And galactose, though less sweet, combines with glucose to form lactose, the sugar present in milk. These structural variations are small but crucial for how they function in our food and body. Based on their chemical behavior, sugars are further classified as reducing and non-reducing sugars. Reducing sugars like glucose, fructose, maltose, and lactose can donate electrons in reactions, a property that's especially important in cooking. When these sugars react with amino acids during heating, they cause Maillard browning, the golden brown crust on bread, biscuits, and roasted coffee beans. Non-reducing sugars, such as sucrose, do not have this reactive group, making them more stable during cooking. This classification helps food scientists control texture, color, and flavor in processed foods. Most of us think sugars are only for sweetness, but they play many important functional roles in food. Firstly, flavor. Sugars add sweetness and balance sour or bitter flavors. Secondly, color and texture. During baking or roasting, sugars help create appealing golden colors and soft textures. They also act as preservatives by binding water and preventing microbial growth, which is why jams and jellies last long. In fermentation, sugars are vital for yeast activity, helping bread rise and producing alcohol. Lastly, sugars add bulk and structure, giving body to ice creams, candies, and sauces. So, sugars are multifunctional, not just sweeteners. In the food industry, sugars are key ingredients in a wide range of products. They're used in bakery items, beverages, dairy products, confectionery, and canned foods. For example, in bakery products, sugar improves tenderness and enhances browning. In frozen desserts, it lowers the freezing point, giving a smoother, creamier texture. In jams and jellies, it acts as a preservative, extending shelf life. Sugars also help mask unpleasant tastes that might come from added vitamins or artificial flavors. So, whether it's flavor enhancement, moisture control, or preservation, sugars are essential for making food enjoyable and market-ready. The chemical properties of sugars directly influence their functionality in food. Their solubility helps create syrups and beverages, while their hygroscopic nature, the ability to attract and hold moisture, keeps baked goods soft. Their crystallization behavior determines the texture of candies and sweets, and their reactivity, especially during heating, gives rise to attractive colors and aromas. These chemical traits are why food technologists carefully choose the type and amount of sugar for each product. It's not only about taste, it's about achieving the right texture, color, shelf life, and overall consumer experience. With rising health awareness and concerns about obesity and diabetes, the demand for alternatives to sugar has increased, giving rise to sweeteners. Sweeteners are substances that provide sweetness either with fewer calories or sometimes none at all. They're mainly divided into natural and artificial sweeteners. Natural sweeteners include honey, jaggery, stevia, and maple syrup, derived from plants or natural sources. Artificial sweeteners like saccharin, aspartame, and sucralose are chemically synthesized and many times sweeter than sugar. Sweeteners allow food manufacturers to create low-calorie, sugar-free, and diabetic-friendly foods without compromising on taste. Let's understand these two types in more detail. Natural sweeteners are obtained from plants or natural products. Examples include honey, jaggery, stevia, and agave syrup. They provide energy and sometimes contain trace nutrients or antioxidants. However, they may vary in sweetness and flavor. Artificial sweeteners, like aspartame, saccharin, and ace-sulfame K, are man-made and hundreds of times sweeter than sugar, meaning only small quantities are needed. They are used in soft drinks, baked goods, and sugar-free products. While artificial sweeteners help reduce calorie intake, some may lose sweetness when exposed to high heat, so choosing the right one for each food type is important. Let's quickly recap everything we've learned today. We began by understanding what food science is, a multidisciplinary field combining chemistry, biology, and technology to ensure food safety, quality, and innovation. We then explored carbohydrates, their classification, and the chemistry of simple sugars like glucose, fructose, and galactose. We learned how sugars are not just sweeteners but functional ingredients that influence color, texture, preservation, and flavor in foods. Finally, we discussed natural and artificial sweeteners, modern alternatives catering to health-conscious consumers. Food science, as we see, continues to evolve, balancing nutrition, safety, and taste for a healthier and more sustainable food future. Now, we move on to the questions and answers segment. Feel free to ask any questions you have about the topics we've covered so far, and we'll clarify them together. Now, let's test your understanding of Unit 1 with some practice questions on Introduction to Food Science and Simple Sugars. You can note down these questions and practice them later to reinforce your understanding of the unit. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel, IGNOU Study Materials, your #1 learning spot for all IGNOU subjects. We'd love to hear from you, so drop a comment and let us know which topic you want us to cover next. See you in the next video.